Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Evan Christopher, aka Evan Resells. If you've ever dreamed of starting your clothing brand, 2024 is the year to make it happen, yo, I'm telling you. In today's video, I'll show you everything I know on how to make your brand a success. So let's dive in. First things first, why start a clothing brand in 2024? The fashion industry is booming, and with the rise of e-commerce and social media, it's easier to reach a global audience. Plus, people are always going to be looking for unique, stylish options. Starting a clothing brand can be incredibly rewarding, both creatively and financially. Step 1 to starting your clothing brand 2024 is finding a niche, y'all. What makes your brand unique from the rest of the millions of clothing brands out there? Is it like eco-friendly materials, streetwear, luxury, or something different? Like, it doesn't matter what it is, just kind of build up basically it is your brand. Just build your brand on what you are. Like, Fire's kind of in the streetwear, you got Louis Vuitton and like luxury, Burberry, like it's all these different brands. Y'all kind of just figure out where you fit in, just so you can identify your target audience and understand their needs. This will define your marketing process, your design process, and your entire strategy to your whole brand. Next, we're going to talk about brand identity. This includes your brand name, logo, color scheme, and overall aesthetic. Your brand should tell a story and evoke emotion. For instance, my brand Tunnel Vision focuses on a bold, minimalist design with a black and white colors. I'll put up one of my hoodies right here. Y'all, designing your clothing line is where the magic happens. Sketch your ideas, choose your materials, and create prototypes. Use design software to bring your concepts to life. I like to use either Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator. You can actually buy my tech pack and all my vector mockup packs in the description right there. It's $9. You basically get access to everything you need to start your clothing brand, and make sure your manufacturers and everything, which we'll get into later, they'll know everything that you want, and it will help you creatively make your visions come to life. Don't forget to consider comfort, durability, and style. All right, y'all, once you got your tech packs and designs and everything ready, it's time to move on to manufacturing. If you need more help going on to like how to design your tech packs and what makes successful clothing, I'm gonna have future videos going over that, so make sure to check them out if you need help. But with that being said, it's time to move on to manufacturing. Research and look out for potential manufacturers, y'all. The manufacturers that I use, which I'll go over in a future video on how to find your manufacturer, is on Alibaba or wherever you want to get your clothes manufactured. You can go on Instagram, you can go on anywhere, websites, but I use Alibaba, and I'll make a future video describing on like how I find my manufacturers and just my process for going about that, because it can be difficult whether you went China or Pakistan. Really, like, you got to know the pros and cons about each. Like, for example, like China's really good for creativity freedom. They have bigger manufacturers, they can produce products faster. However, it's kind of more expensive than Pakistan. But with that being said, Pakistan has smaller factories, it takes longer. They don't have as much stuff as they do in China, so your creativity is limited. So you really wouldn't choose which one you want to go for. And if you want to go with the China route, which I highly recommend, it might require much more of an investment. So if you want to learn how to basically get that seed money investment for your clothing brand, you can check out some of my other videos, and it kind of describes on like reselling or etc. So some of the things that you're going to want to talk to your manufacturer about, which I'll put right here, is you're going to want to discuss pricing, minimum order quantities or MOQs, lead times, and payment terms. Make sure everything is clear to avoid misunderstandings later, because I've been in personal situations where I was talking to this guy for a long time, and I was under the assumption that I was going to get a free sample, and when it came to the end, we discussed on all the measurements and everything. I don't know how we didn't think of this sooner, but when it got to the very end of when like he's going to start production, he asked, how do you want to pay? I'm like, what? He's like, you're going to pay for your sample, right? And I'm like, no, that's not what I talked about. So you just want to be clear, so you don't waste your time and their time. Just be clear. And also make sure you catch all quality control issues. So make sure your agent or whoever's with your clothing line is on your team and making sure quality is there and everybody's going to be happy. So just so you can catch any early issues before they lead in something big. And by leading in something big, I mean you have a drop and you have 10,000 people waiting for their hoodie to come, and then you realize it's not at all how you expected. So that leads me into my next thing, is how you're going to do a drop and market your items. So if this is your first brand and you have no social media presence, here it's going to be a little bit more difficult than if you were already an influencer, have social media presence. Here's what you do. First of all, you can either pay someone to make your website, or you can make it yourself. If you need help making your website, I'm going to have some future videos on how I made mine, and just a great the process on how to find templates or upload all your stuff to Shopify. I recommend creating a professional website and set up a social media account, for example, Instagram or TikTok, but I would go with Instagram. Share behind the scenes content and engage in your audience. so you can build a community around your brand. I have a friend right here. I'll put his Instagram right here. He has a brand called Perseverance. Highly recommend you check him out. He's growing it exponentially. I'm super excited to see what he does with that. What he does is he posts pictures I think almost every day. I'm getting flooded with notifications of his brand, and he's taking pictures of his products and he's laying them out, and he's doing he's responding to other people's questions. He built a community around his brand, and it is really easy, and it's something that you could do too. So you're gonna want to utilize digital marketing strategies such as your social media marketing, like ads. You can do influencer collaborations. In my last video, I talked about reaching out to influencers. I have a friend who I'm sending a ton of hoodies to. He's not that big of an influencer yet, but I can definitely see him scaling up, and I just want to make sure that I'm locked in with him before other people try to latch on. If you know any influencers or you know how to network, that's probably one of the biggest things that you could do. Because if you can get, for example, like an NBA player to wear your hoodie or your t-shirt, your brand is going to pop off, I promise you. So that's probably one of the biggest ways that you can get income is from people who already have a social media presence. If you don't already have a social media presence, this is something you need to do. Also, wear your product out. So when you go to the mall, when you go out shopping, wherever you're going, wear your product. Free advertising, literally. I can't tell you how many times I've worn my stuff outside and people have been like, where did you get that? That's really, I'll be like, it's a flex. That's my brand. I made it. It's something that you can be proud of, because if generally speaking, if you like your product, you're gonna want to wear it out. So make sure to wear it out once you get your sample. So once you got all that, plan a launch event or just something to create buzz around your product. This could be an online event, a pop-up shop, or a social media campaign. Offer exclusive discounts or limited edition items or products to attract customers. Also, the final step is selling your clothing and growing your brand. So I'm gonna go over in a future video on how to get free samples, because trust me, it's gonna save a lot of money. I think you might sometimes, depending on the seller, just have to pay for shipping, but that's better than paying for the whole production costs and everything. I'm gonna go over in a future video on how to do that. So decide where you want to sell your clothes for one. I highly recommend Shopify. I think Shopify is probably the easiest and best to start your brand. But then again, every marketplace and website has their pros and cons. So if you guys need help figuring out what or where you want to sell on, just comment down below if you want a video on that, and I'll be more than happy to upload a video on that for sure. So setting your prices is something very important, because that's literally how you're going to fund your future drops and everything like that, and make sure you get paid to make sure your time is worth it. You want to set your prices based on the cost that you pay. All right, don't be greedy, don't be anything like that. Don't lose money on this for one. You want to set it on your desired profit margin. So look up other companies or brands that you like and respect, or just any competitors you have in the same style of your brand. So if you have any other underground brands or anything, just any of your competitors, do market research on what's selling their stuff for, and go based off of that. If you don't have an idea already on what profit you want to make, just do your research. Especially if your product's in a niche, for example, if you're selling your whole niche as eco-friendly streetwear or something like that, or eco-friendly luxury items, especially you eco-friendly brands, because there are so many eco-friendly brands that just be taxing, y'all. I'm telling you, they just be taxing. I'm talking yeah, it's eco-friendly, but I don't want to drop $100 on a pair of basic blue jeans, you know what I'm saying, just because it has a little tag on it that says eco-friendly. But that's just me. I don't know. Make sure to provide excellent customer service to build a loyal community base. Something that I recommend, and this is something that you might not want to do, but if it's something that you are inspired by and you think that you might want to do it, this is just some free sauce. Basically, under promise and over deliver. So that's something that's kind of risky, but I've been in situations where I've bought from people and I wasn't expecting too much and they over delivered. I was just absolutely in shock. It's something that made me want to go buy some more, just because I knew how good their service was and I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So especially when you don't expect too much, you think you're just buying a hoodie or whatever from this underground seller, but then it comes in this professionally packaged, very nice, everything. It's just another extra step to making your company look professional. Make sure to stay adaptable too, because if you realize that people who are who are buying your stuff aren't really messing with your product, just be adaptable. Figure out what sells and what doesn't sell. So something that you need to know, and this goes for everything from YouTube to clothing brands to whatever business you are in, it isn't about you, it's about your customer. And if you want to win, you need to realize that it's not all about you. So for instance, if these videos I'm making, they're not popping off, I need to figure out what you guys like and adapt to that. So, and that's not to say that I can't make it myself, and that doesn't say that you can't make your brand yourself. Really, if I dropped content like this and you wanted it in a different way, I would adapt to that. If you guys wanted more IRL clothing brand content and you guys weren't really messing with this, I wouldn't take that personally. That's another thing. Don't take anything personally, y'all. I promise you, don't get your feelings hurt over someone not liking your product or leaving hate or whatever, because in the end, it literally does not matter. matter. Like nothing you do or they do does not matter, because as long as you're happy and you're making money and you're satisfied with your whole brand, that's all that matters. Don't let hate get to you. And I know that sounds cliche as hell, but like it's just real. Don't take it personally. Y'all remember that Darman quote: hate comes from below, not from above, guys. I promise. Keep that in mind. And there you have it, y'all. A comprehensive guide on how to start a clothing brand in 2024. Remember, building a successful clothing brand takes time and effort. Don't give up, because I promise you, so many brands out there, they have a great idea of fire products, fire everything, but they give up because they're not seeing sales, or they're not seeing as many sales as they thought they would, or they're losing money. Just don't give up on it, because that's when it's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like, for real. If you think of it, on your 100th try, you actually get it. So that would make you excited to make 99 mistakes, right? So use every mistake or every time that you're feeling like you want to give up as a learning opportunity to make yourself better and better your brand and everything like that. It's a whole lot of dedication that comes with it. Just being consistent with everything. I know I've talked about this in my previous videos, but just being consistent is the #1 thing that you need to do in life. Whatever it is you do, whether it's your YouTube, whether it's your reselling, whether it's your clothing brand, guys, be consistent. It is the #1 thing that's gonna pay off. With the right mindset and strategy, you can make your dream of becoming a multi-million-dollar brand dream a reality. I promise you. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Comment any suggestions or any videos that you want, or any information at all that you want from me, and I'll do my best to respond and make those videos happen. Once again, if you want to check out my tech pack and my vector mockup pack, you can go in the description of this video and check it out. YouTube doesn't pay anything, so this is just helping me out, and it's going to help you out for sure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Big bucks! Niggas keep dissing but don't hit the soul, but that's cause they know it's a death zone. Last nigga was screaming ELO, he a